So now I am going to discuss about virtues of the king, but before that, in my earlier video I could not complete that one because of some technical errors, so I will just tell you a few lines about that. After that I will start this one. So in that video we should have to remember one thing, and the responsibility of the king. That means the king should always sacrifice his own personal liking, personal disliking, personal welfare, personal interest for the welfare of his own subjects. And here we can cite at the example of a pregnant woman who generally sacrifice many things for the children whom she is going to give birth in near future. So in that way, as the king is the parents of his subjects, so he should have to sacrifice many things for the betterment of his own subjects. So that is the last responsibility of the king. And now I am going to discuss about virtues of king which were mentioned in the Shanti Parva. The first one is that king should be well behaved, fountain of truth and fountain of faith. So he should be well behaved, he should be a man of character, and he should also be the fountain of truth and faith. That means seeker of truth and faith. Number 2 is capacity to judge right and wrong. The king should have the quality to judge what is right and what is wrong, and if he is interested to judge about what is right and what is wrong, then he should be also a man of reason, then an educated person, as well as he should be able to know about what is justice and what is injustice. Then the king should have to take special care for the poor and downtrodden subjects of his own kingdom, because they were facing that more difficulties. Then another thing is that self-control of own instinct. He is the king, he is the ruler, he is the leader of the people. So it is very much necessary that he will have to control his own instinct like lust, anger, then sexual necessity or sexual urge. Then that one is that for hankering for material upliftment, etc., etc. Then next one is the king should be efficient. He should be an industrious person. He should not be a passive person but a very much active person, and he should have to encourage others for doing good works, and he himself also be a person of encouragement. Then behavior of the king should be changed according to circumstances. Here we can find some similarities with Machiavelli, because Machiavelli clearly told that the king should not have to follow the same morality like that of the individual persons. In that way, the king may also change his character, his behavior, if the situation is demanding like that. Because if he got good behavior, good natured people around him, then he will have to act nicely. But if the situation changes, he should have to show his ugly face to the people. Then the king should have to perform yajna. Yajna is a Hindu rituals that is performed before the fire. That means Agni. Agni is also treated as a god, and generally the king seek the blessing of God for the welfare of his people through yajna, or sometime when the king is interested to going for a war or like that, then also he can perform yajna and seek the blessing of God. So that is also the virtue of king. Then the king himself selected the priest and minister of his own kingdom, and that priest and ministers generally they give advice to the king to run the administration smoothly. So if he was unable to appoint the correct persons in these two posts, then ultimately he will have to suffer, and that is why he should be very much cautious during the time of giving appointment to these two important posts. Then king is also regarded as the role model of the people. That means people follow his own footsteps, and that is why it is it is the responsibility of the king to establish before them that he is a man of character, he is a very courageous person, he is a benevolent king, he is thinking for the welfare of the people, he is a selfless person, etc. Then the king should act like God before his subjects and acts like demon before his enemy. That means before the subjects he should have to behave like a god or the representative of God. That means he should be an epitome of justice, he should be a man of character, he is a reasonable person, he is a just person, etc. But before the enemy, because enemy, if they are enemy, then he should have to treated them separately. He should have to act before them as a demon. Then another virtue of the king is that he should have to use the Danda Niti for the establishment of religious tradition. If the religious traditions is endangered in this country, if the people are not following the tradition and culture of the country, in that case the king can use Danda Niti and punish the lawbreaker who are behind those what I can say behind those chaos situation. Then the king should be the seeker of God and not pleasure. God means what? God means what is spiritual. That means he should be a seeker of spiritual beauty and he should not be the seeker of material pleasure. And last but not least is that the king should be dedicated to hospitality. That means in Indian culture and tradition there is a concept of Othiti Devo Bhavo. Othiti means guest and they should be treated as God. So that principle should be followed by the king in each and every circumstances. So these are in nutshell about the virtues of the king according to Shanti Parva. So already I have discussed about the responsibility of the king and this is the virtues of the king. So thank you.